Hey guys, what's up? We've got the DrumQuig Podcast, episode 15, and we are going international for the first time in the show. I'm super excited to have this drummer on. This is a band I just discovered recently in the last few months because they've just been blowing up. The one and only Royal Sorrow drummer, Janne Mieskonen. How you doing, man?
All good, man. All good, man. Uh,
I was trying
sorry.
so hard to get the name right. So
Good. Yeah.
I'll take it. So right off the bat, you guys have just kind of blown up, I would say, over the last few months. And I just want to talk about what that's been like for you guys because I'll go into some deep dives here, but you're going on tour with the band later this year. We won't give it away yet. But what's it been like for you guys to see the reaction that you're getting from all the music you've been putting out and having Inner Deeps come out next week?
Yeah, it's awesome. Awesome to see how it all comes to fruition because it's been a long process making the songs, writing the music. Obviously the band has existed for a year only,
Yes.
so for the public, but we've been writing music for a couple of years for this project, and it's good to finally get it out. And yeah, we've been trying to release as many singles as possible to kind of gain traction, and it has worked.
I mean, I think so. And it's so funny because, 10, 15 years ago, you got one single from a band and then you bought the CD. Now we're getting that weekly release and you guys are doing the accompanying music videos. Like, whose idea was it for you guys to really just go all in on that one?
Well, we didn't have any releases before this single, so we kind of needed to have something that listeners can come back to before the album comes out. So it's a modern way, but it also makes sense because the band is so new. I don't know if we'll release this many singles for the next one, but yeah, I think it has worked, and it kind of keeps people engaged really well.
Yeah, I think so. And I mean, it worked because it was one of those things where Spotify just recommended you guys. And I love
Cool.
Krog. There's a Dream Theater poster up there. Like we just saw
Nice.
him twice. I just saw him twice last week. My brain is still trying to
Uh,
process. And just seeing you guys, like, it seems like all the music on this album is you, like you said, you've been writing it for years. It seems like it has a different feel to every song, whereas it doesn't just feel like you guys put out a bunch of songs. Each one has so much heart and passion in it. Like, was
Thank
that
you.
the goal coming into that? Like,
Yeah, we did have more songs than what are on the album, but we felt like these are the strongest ones, and it made like a cohesive album. It's super important to not have too many similar songs. Obviously, if you're like AC/DC, then you can do it, but we feel like it's super important to have a versatility and showcase all the sides of the band and kind of make it a journey in a sense.
yeah, and that's exactly what it's been. I mean, I know we only have a week, and I believe there's still 3 songs left. So, are we
Yes.
going to get one more before the release, or
No,
we're
that
no?
yeah, you get it when the release date. Yeah.
Also, I'm going to talk about the bold choice of going straight to the vinyl option and how amazing that looks.
Thank you.
Vinyl has just come so far back. I've got like a small stack over here that I keep in the office, but vinyl has made such a comeback. And I feel like it's the new, I don't want to say cool thing to do, but it really is. Like it just gives you a different feel for the music. So
Yeah,
love that you guys did that.
yeah. It's thank you. It's like way more organic way to listen, and you get to switch the sides, and you get to see the artwork in your hands and everything. So yeah, it's cool, and we've always dreamed about releasing a vinyl, so it was kind of no brainer to do it. And also the label wanted to put out the vinyl, so it was quite easy choice.
Yeah, I was going to say it sounds like it. So give us like the background. It seems like you guys have got all different music styles put together, obviously the prog aspect of it. So talk about what got you to being a drummer and who influenced you going, back then, today, and going on.
Yeah, that's a good one because I've been drumming or playing sword drums since I was 3 or 4 years old. I played with my kitchenware and what not, and my parents were like, "Yeah, that guy is into drums." So I got my first drum kit when I was 6 or 7 years old. It was an old Premiere kit, and yeah, that was a really good one to start with. Not too shabby. I think if you get the crap drum kit from the start, then you're not engaged with it.
Yeah, exactly.
It was decent enough to kind of go forward with. And then, yeah, maybe my influences, I would say it's gotta be Lars from Metallica for a variety of reasons. Obviously, he's not the best drummer ever, but his style has a lot of personality, and that's what is it's intriguing to me in drums. Like hearing the musician through the performance, like hearing his like style, and I know recognize instantly that's Lars or that's Mario from Gojira or whoever
Mhm.
else. That's always been an inspiration for me.
And I love that because Lars, like the first CD I ever bought was Metallica's Black Album. Like Metallica was my favorite band for the longest time. And I always joke that for some reason to this day, I can still name all the albums in order when they came out. Like I have that impact. So being that it was Lars, what song was it? Do you remember like a specific song or album that really just went,
Yeah, it's gotta be the Black Album for me as well because that was the first one I got from my dad when I was like 10, and yeah, it blew my mind. I listened to like lot of rock music and stuff like not that heavy stuff, but yeah, the Black Album was super like influential for me. It still is.
yeah, it's
That
still
drum sound is just legendary.
it's perfect. It's not over the top. And you look at a lot of the stuff they did before, the thrashier, and when they changed, I know when that album came out, it did not get received well. They cut their hair,
Yeah,
they were getting called sellouts. And I'm like, that album is near perfect from start to finish. There's not a
yeah.
bad
Also,
song on it.
the songwriting is so good, and also the production, like Bob Rock's drum production and the way they mic the drums in the studio. That was just I've been watching that documentary for so many times, the year and a half documentary, because that's been like a go-to for our recordings as well. Like that's been super influential.
I mean, that's pretty cool. Like Bob Rock did some masterful pieces,
Yeah,
across the board, but the Metallica ones are always just gonna stick.
definitely.
Oh man. So I mean, again, this has got to be such a wild ride for you guys. And like I said, I did a little bit of a deep dive, go all the way back to 2017, and you're seeing Leprous in concert, and now you guys are going on tour with them. Like, how did that come about? And is it kind of still like surreal that you guys are getting to tour with them?
Yeah, many of these things are surreal, but it's been a lot, or has a lot to do with our label because they're on the same label, and they were looking for a support act, and it was kind of easy for our manager to go like, hey, why not these guys before that, because they're releasing their first album and they're kind of similar stylish style and what else. So, and then yeah, Lepros replied that yeah, that's a good call, and like they'll then it came to fruition, and yeah, the rest is history. But that's gonna be a super cool tour. We've been working our stuff like this week as well, organizing everything for the tour. It's a lot of work. We have to book like the ride and everything, and yeah, it's a lot of organizing.
It's the stuff they don't tell you about when you're coming up. You're like, oh, I just want to be in the band. Everybody's gonna take care of everything for me. That there's
Yeah,
some
exactly.
layers to this.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are starting strong with that too, because it being like the first big tour, starting, I believe, at the end of October. So you guys have got some time to prepare, but at the same time, like we're just over a month away. Like,
Yeah. It's
what's
coming
what's
fast.
preparing? Yeah, what does preparing for you guys look like? What's the day to day to make sure that you're 100%?
So we've been doing festivals now, for like first few festivals. We're playing in Germany next week in Euroblast festival, and we've been preparing for that. But yeah, we started with just going through the songs, all the songs on the album, and just feeling how they felt like in the live circumstance. And actually, on our first gig, we already played all the songs because we had a 1 hour slot, so we had to practice the full album, and we don't have any more songs, so we had to play the full thing. So yeah, it's we just learned all the songs, and that's lucky for us that they all work live super well. Yeah, it's a treat to play those live.
Well, absolutely. So far, what's been the hardest song to play live? Because there's one. There always has to be one that's a
Yeah,
little bit like, oh my gosh.
I think it's the third track, Samsara. That's a really difficult one on the drums.
Yeah.
It's quite fast actually. It's sounds mid tempo, but the things you're playing is super fast, and it's a 5.5 minute song, so it's quite intensive.
And it's funny you picked that one. That's my favorite song on the album so far. And especially that ending drum part. Like, why did you do that to yourself? It's so
it, it has a lot going on, and yeah, also the solo, like the stuff I do behind the solo guitar solo, it's super difficult. Like I had to do a lot of takes in the studio to get nail that one.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was the hardest part to record at least. And yeah, it's been the most like tasking one live as well.
I can imagine, and that's what I figured you might say, just because of those parts, and especially if anybody listening, like, I'll put the link to Samsara, the whole album in there, like, listen to it, and you'll know exactly what's going on and why that's so difficult. You know, you talked about the band has been around for a year, but you guys have been writing music for years.
Yes,
I wanna say you even had a different name for the project at one point.
we
So,
did.
talk about, like, how did you guys meet and what's kept you together all this time?
Yeah, glad to do that. We when I met my neighbor Eero, who is the bassist, we were like 6 or 7 years old. So we grew up together in we were next door neighbors for the longest time, and we played together, and then we started to play music together as well when we were like 10 or 9 years old, and yeah, that was super fun. We just jammed some Metallica stuff and whatnot, and but quite early we started to make our own songs as well. It's always been in our blood to kind of write songs and lyrics and stuff. So we started to make our own stuff quite early on, and then in high school we met the other guys that formed the previous bands. So Marcus is still from that group. Our singer is still from there, that era, and yeah, we did a couple of albums with that group, and we were independent band for a long time, and then we sent some songs to Inside Out like 5 years ago or something, and they were super interested in the new stuff, and they were like, yeah, we got to sign this band, and yeah. That's
That's
basically the thing, but we've been doing it for like more than a decade at this point.
That's
So
amazing,
yeah,
and so what prompted the name change? Was that part of,
that was.
like
I mean, like we had the previous band for so long, and it was started in high school, so it kind of felt like a bit like a baggage to have all that stuff from that far
from
away,
back
and
then?
also the style changed a bit. I think more it changed to a more modern sounding and more like more low tune guitars, more like this. So we felt like it was the right thing to do. To start from a clean slate with the label, get going right away, get a good look with the first release and everything. So yeah, that was the thing for us.
And I think it fits, and I think that that explanation makes all the sense. You have all that stuff from high school, and you're like, we'll keep
Yeah,
that back there. We're starting anew. We're starting, with this
exactly.
big
Yeah.
record company who, like you said, signed you 5 years ago, but the
Yep. Yep.
push,
Yep.
you can
Well, yeah, technically like four, but yeah, still it's been years coming like for this.
yeah.
But yeah, yeah. But we tried to like get signed with the previous band, and we sent to a lot of labels. But yeah, Inside Out was the one that was the most like prominent for us, and it's been really good so far.
Yeah, and I'm glad you guys persevered and kept pushing, like, you didn't give up because,
Yeah.
in music, like, that happens all the time. You're sending stuff and, "Oh, no, that's no good," or, "This won't last," and then you see these bands go on for decades, and you're like, "Oh."
Yeah, it can be really, really tough, and yeah, well, it's a passion. As long as we are passionate about it, I think we could keep going. Like, it's not stopping until we feel like okay, we have said everything we have to say, and yeah, done everything we feel like doing. So we still are really passionate about this.
Yeah, and I think you have to be to put out that kind of music, so,
Yeah,
being that you're starting off, do you guys all, like, still have day jobs? Like, do you work on a regular schedule, or is it trying to put everything into this,
yeah.
and especially with the tour coming?
Couple of the guys are in like other bands as well, like wedding bands, and also playing as a backing band in a quite famous Finnish musician actually. And yeah, they do a lot of gigging on the side, and I do some part-time stuff as well. But we've been putting a lot of focus on this Royal Sorrow now for the past year. So yeah, but yeah, obviously you still have to have something else still.
Yeah, and I only ask just because, like, sometimes it's available and sometimes it's not, and, it's like, I used to interview MMA fighters, and they'd be like, "Well, I have 4 jobs," and I'm like, "What do you
Okay.
mean you have 4 jobs? You just fought on TV last week," and they're like, "Yeah, I didn't make any money," and I'm like,
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I can see that, and yeah, music is not very profitable at the moment. But if you make it to the next level, like where Leprous is or whoever is there, they are doing it full time and
Yeah,
whatnot. So that's the goal at least, and we see how far it goes.
yeah, and I'm so upset because they were here in Florida in April, and I missed them, and I was
Damn,
like, "Oh," and I looked at the tour and I went,
have you seen them before?
"I haven't," so that's why I'm so upset that I did miss it,
They are
and
so
so
good. They are so good live. It's crazy.
this year's been a very, very eclectic year for shows. Like I said, I got to go to the Dream Theater show last week twice. So I went on Wednesday and I went on Friday. I got to meet the band, and I had met Mike Portnoy when I was, gosh, 21 years old. So we're
Okay, yeah.
talking quite a bit ago, and it was so cool to see him back in the band and just get to see that experience. And then, I mean, I saw Metallica back in June, and Lars is still killing it. Like, it makes absolutely no
Yeah, I
sense.
saw them last year in Helsinki as well. I was quite close to the stage as well. So yeah, I got to see Lars playing. They are still like, they don't care about their age.
No. And that's the thing, is that you've got musicians who you feel like, okay, it's time. Like, you've done enough. And then you've got guys like them, Dream Theater, and even like the Rolling, who are just like, they're like, we don't do this for the money. We're doing this because we love doing this. And I think you see that in the playing and in the passion and what they're putting out. I mean, Metallica,
Definitely.
started, first album was 1983.
Yes.
And like, look at us now in 2025. There's no way they had any idea they'd still be as big
Yeah. Yeah.
back then.
That's so crazy. Yeah. Such longevity, and yeah, many like those bands still keep going, and it's testament to the passion
Yeah,
for sure.
absolutely. I mean, we've talked about the influence, like you mentioned Lars. Are there any other, like, in today's music that you've seen going, like, coming up, that you're like, oh, that guy, like, that's somebody to watch out for, or that's somebody, that's got this skill? Like, are there other people that you're seeing, or is your focus right now like, don't care about them? I'm focused on the tour itself.
Yeah, I follow the scene quite a bit, but not that intensely. I've been well, Eloy in Slipknot has been a fun journey to follow. Like, well, he's established drummer, but it was super cool to see his journey to Slipknot, and also like Grayson Neckritman, what a drummer that he is, and also, well, not that modern, but Mario from Gojira has also always been an influence to me. His style really hits home for me.
I love those yearly drum solos. Like, that's
Yeah,
you need like an hour to process, like, the
exactly.
5 minutes that it happens, and you're like, okay, I didn't know that could happen.
Yeah,
It's one of
for
those
sure.
crazy.
Also, Valtteri from Opeth, who is a Finnish drummer. It's been incredible to see him going to Opeth, and we used to play in the same rehearsal space with him, so like next door. So yeah, it's been cool to see him like
What
going
was that
to
like?
Opeth. Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, we talked about, everything you guys have gone through and what the label has you do. Like, what's it been like shooting these music videos? Because it wasn't just one music video. You guys have shot, I think, 6 at this
Yeah,
point.
six like with full band. Yeah, it's been a lot, but most of them were with our friend Yara, who is an avid filmmaker, and been a pleasure to work with him. He's a really like good visionary, and we also like scout some locations. It's been I would say we're also passionate about music videos, so it's been fun to get to shoot so many. We had a pretty good budget for the music videos, so that was a treat because previously it'd been paying everything ourselves, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's hard to afford more than one.
Well, and that's the thing, is that I feel like, again, like we talked about vinyl coming back, like, music videos are a lost art because everybody's upset. Okay, they're not really singing, they're not, but the production you guys are putting into it. And like you said,
Thank you.
I'm also a photographer, so I could see like the cinematography and like what he's doing with it. It just hits on a different level that you forget you're watching the music video.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's been our pleasure as well to shoot so many, and we've been trying to kind of make some like do some stuff ourselves as well. Marcus did one of the animation videos as well, so we've been doing ourselves some visual stuff as well. So that's been good.
That's pretty cool too.
Yeah.
So, just because Leprous already is one of those like dream tours, like, is there any band that you would love to go on tour with or have the chance to be on tour with? I know we mentioned Opeth and Gojira, but like, is there
Yeah.
any band that we haven't mentioned that you'd be like, we gotta be?
Well, I have to mention Catatonia. For me, it's one of the biggest influences. And I've met Jonas in person, the singer. He's a super cool guy. And I guess it would be a really good time to tour with them as well. Yeah, Catatonia is one of my biggest inspirations ever. So that
There
would be
you
one.
go.
Yeah.
I'm like, that was an easy answer. You already had that ready. You were like, oh yeah, it's this.
There's many we would love to tour with, but that's from the top of my mind.
Well, it's what you want to tour with, not the rest of the band. They can tell everybody else. it's just been so much fun to watch. Like I said, just going through and Spotify has really opened the door, and I know there's a lot of backlash of how Spotify treats the artist, but I feel like sometimes that's the vessel that gets the music out. Like,
Yeah,
did you guys, you guys have taken full advantage of that, the way it looks and the way the
yeah.
record has
I
produced
won't. I won't.
everything.
Yeah, it's a like complicated issue, the compensation for artists and all this, but it's still the most popular streaming service, and at this point, especially, we need to just get our music heard. So we don't really think about that stuff that much, but yeah, it's always tricky, of course, and there's a lot of like yeah, with the community of musicians we've been talking with, there's a lot of stuff regarding that, but we just want to get our music out there, and that's everything for us now.
That's all that matters. And especially like, I don't mean to like fanboy in the show, but I will be pre-ordering like I'll be getting the album when it comes out because I want,
Thank you.
number one, I want that vinyl, but number two, just it's hard for music to capture the same way. And I had Derek Roddy, he played with Serpent Fries and Nile,
Oh,
and
nice.
Derek's one of the nicest guys probably I've ever met in my life. And he
Yeah, he
said,
seems super
music,
chill.
he's like, music isn't honest anymore. It doesn't hit the same way. And I feel like you guys are making music that you want everybody to hear because you love everybody to hear it. Like that's what it
Yeah,
comes down to.
definitely, and that's what was like the primary goal in choosing the songs we picked for the album. That we wanted to just showcase everything we can put out, and like give the best songs out there, and yeah, make an impression.
Well, of course. And I mean, it worked. So, and I hope it, like, obviously the label took notice, putting you guys on that tour. I'm super excited to hear about it afterwards. So we'll definitely have to talk again for that. But I want to talk about the gear you're playing because I know you just got your own signature stick. So what was that like? Because we've all been there. We've all wanted a stick with our name on it. And
Yes.
to get that had to
It
be
was
one of those experiences.
it was a fun one because the guy, it's a one person company, a workshop in Finland called Drum Taylor Percussion, and he's a really active guy in the community, and there's a lot of famous Finnish drummers on his roster already. And he's making how many sticks he wants, and he kind of comes and goes, and then he was like, he noticed us as I think as well from Spotify or somewhere, and he was like, this stuff is so good and you play so well. Like, do you have any endorsement yet? I was like, not yet. Well, feel free to shoot me a message. And then yeah, he just said that we can do this. Like, and what sticks are you playing now? And is there something you would like to improve with them? And I used to play like Vincent metal sticks, which are like these super long sticks, which
Mhm.
are really good sticks as well. But we kind of took that as a like a starting point and then improved and with adding stuff that I wanted to, like a better grip and whatnot. So the signature ones are really good. I've been enjoying playing with them a lot.
It's gonna be fun to bring that on tour. Like again, like I just saw it in your face when he said, "Do you have any endorsements?" Like you
Yeah,
just lit up. Like
yeah.
me? Like
It's weird to get approached like that, but it's super exciting. The attention that we've been getting has been super good. So yeah, that's one of the benefits of having more exposure as well.
absolutely. So we talked about the sticks. Like, what's the equipment that we're playing? What cymbals do we have? What drums do we have? Like, what's in front of you? That's
Yeah.
the essential that has to be there.
Well, I've been rocking this Tamar Star Classic kit for a while. It's a Virgin Bubinga kit. I bought it from a guy like 5-6 years ago. It's worked really well. I haven't get anything better. Like no need for a better kit as so far. But yeah, I've been rocking that, and also I have a Ludwig Blackmagic snare. That's my go-to snare drum. It's kind of Black Beauty copy, but 8 inches deep, very deep one.
Ooh,
Yeah, I love
whoa.
to. Yeah, it's a deep one, but I love the like the combination of getting a deep snare and then tuning it really high. So I get the bottom end and also the like the overtones and whatnot. That's I love that sound.
It's very, very Larsy. That goes
Yes,
right back
yeah,
to
it's a brass drum as well. So getting that Black Album vibe.
listen, I will be the first one to say, like, I hated the snare in Saint Anger. I was like, it's too high, it's just too tight. Like, why are we doing this? But it was a stylistic choice. It worked for then. he's never done it again. So
Yeah.
clearly, like, that was
And
a
it's
one-off.
iconic. Everyone talks about it still. It's like one of those iconic moments in metal history. Like he does this stuff to kind of like out of the box stuff, I guess, which is super cool. And that's what I like about Lars. Like he's not afraid to try stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, the man's been, it's so funny that you mentioned Lars of all people, because a video came up today where, like, early 80s, they decided it couldn't have been that early because Jason was in the band. So it had to be mid 80s
Yeah.
that literally Lars went and sang, James went and played drums, Kirk is on the bass, and Jason's playing guitar. And
Yeah.
I'm just watching it. I'm like, you guys still sound amazing.
Yeah, it's fun. Like James is almost the best drummer in Metallica.
I didn't say it, guys. I didn't say it. He said it, guys. Like,
But yeah,
listen, that's the Beatles joke. That's still the
yes.
Beatles joke.
Oh,
Ringo wasn't the best drummer in the Beatles.
yeah.
Well, man, I'd be remiss to, like, I want to be respectful of the time. I know it's late, but also I just want to thank you, man. This is, it's super cool to get the chance to talk to you guys, for you to just be so willing to come on the show and be a part of this, but also for us to be a part of what you're doing.
Yeah, no
And I
worries. Appreciate it.
can't wait to follow up with you after the tour, see what that experience was like, because I have a feeling it's going to be that deer in the headlights. Like, oh my gosh, we're really doing this. We've done the festivals, but I mean,
Yep, it's
being
gonna be crazy. Like very big venues. Most of them will be sold out. There's like 24 shows across Europe, so it's a crazy tour.
to just make sure they take the tour and bring it over to the US. I know they just toured, but like, bring you guys with them.
We definitely hope to come over. It's quite difficult at the moment, but we will look into it.
I think that'll change after this tour, because I mean, you guys, you're the supporting act, and then I believe Gate is the other supporting act. So you
Right.
guys getting to work together, it's really going to open a lot of eyes on you guys, at the same time as open your eyes to kind of what's out there and what you're capable of. So I think that's the important part there.
Yeah, very hopeful it will be really good. Yeah, yeah. Let's talk about it when we have been there. There's gonna be some difficult stuff as well, I assume, but it's gonna be so great as well.
If it were easy, everyone would do it.
Yeah,
Like,
that's also true.
so I want to save this moment for you to thank anybody who's helped you along this journey, or give any shout outs, or really plug anything you want to. So this is your moment to kind of tell everybody, what's up.
Yeah, I especially like everyone that has been listening so far, and like listening this podcast, listening our music. Everyone who is now checking it out, like welcome on board. Thank you for listening, and also I'd like to thank all the like the drum tailor, the sponsor, and our great team behind the music as well.
Absolutely. Well, you guys, Inner Deep comes out next week.
Yes.
Like, we literally have a full album coming out next week. I'm so excited for that. I'm gonna take a moment to give a huge shout out to MAE Music down in Fort Lauderdale. It's a music store. I got to meet the owners on Friday at the Dream Theater show. I had fifth row seats, and these lovely people were like, "Do you want to come sit in the front row with us?" So that's what I did. And there may be, some future collabs with them. So I want to give them a huge shout out on this one, because that was an experience I won't forget ever. It's my 8th time seeing Dream Theater, but I've never sat in the front row. It's kind of mind blowing and melting there. So, and then Jerseys for Drummers, who makes these amazing jerseys. He also made Mike Portnoy's jersey and makes a slew of other drummers jerseys, including, oh my gosh, the list is too long. And I'm sorry, I would definitely go on forever. On behalf of myself, the DrumQuig Podcast, like, it was an absolute pleasure to have you on the show, and can't wait to talk to you again, man.
Thank you. It was my pleasure to be here, and let's talk soon.
Absolutely.
All right.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed the show, please like, share, and subscribe to the DrumQuig Podcast. Thank you so much.